Welcome back to Tokyo Cheapo. I'm your host Isla, and today we're breaking down everything you need to know about the Shinkansen. Because yes, Shinkansen is the easiest and fastest way to travel Japan. However, buying tickets and all that, not as easy as it seems. Different websites, different ticket types, different luggage rules. There's a lot to handle. But in this video, we'll tell you everything you need to know about how to navigate the Shinkansen in Japan. So you might be wondering, why pay so much for a train ride? Well, you get from Tokyo to Osaka in 2.5 hours, speed of up to 320 kilometers an hour. It's much more comfortable than a bus, way less of a hassle than going to the airport, and less luggage restrictions. You don't get ekiben at airports, and it's just fun. You get to see Mount Fuji, you get to sit there drinking your sake. It's just the whole experience. You get to live like a local, and that's enough. If you really want to save money, you can take the night bus. Shaw did it. I've done it. It's not a bad option. It is significantly cheaper, around like 3,000, 4,000 yen from Tokyo to Kyoto. So it is an option. Now, let's talk money, because this is where people get stuck. A one-way ticket from Tokyo to Kyoto costs around 13,000 to 14,500 yen. You will have to pay a little extra to reserve a seat unless you have a JR pass. So, JR pass versus getting single tickets. Rule of thumb here is if you're only gonna do 1 to 2 trips, going to Kyoto, Osaka, whatever, get the single tickets. If you're doing multiple, and I mean multiple trips, then JR Pass might be the one for you. Based on your itinerary, you will have to do your own maths to calculate if the JR Pass is even worth it. Because back in 2017, 2018, it was a no-brainer. You were gonna get the JR Pass. However, now it's so based on your itinerary that we can't really tell you if it's worth it or not. A 7-day JR Pass costs around 50,000 yen, but in October 1st, they're gonna change the price and up the price to 53,000 yen. So based on your itinerary, based on how much you're traveling, you would have to think about whether it's actually worth it. Quick note, JR Pass does have free seat reservations, so you don't have to pay extra for those, and it's actually for tourists only. There are actually a number of alternative passes that might be better for your trip and much more cost effective. For example, the JR East Pass, there's the Tokyo Wide Pass, there's also the Hokuriku Pass. We actually have a full detailed list and explanation in our article, so check that out. Or comment down below if you want us to make a full video about it. So, buying the Shinkansen tickets. You don't actually have to be in the Shinkansen station to buy a ticket. So, you have your Tokyo station, Shinagawa station, you don't actually have to be there. If you go to the Midori no Madoguchi in Shinjuku or Shibuya, you can actually buy your tickets in major train station hubs. You will actually see machines with a little Shinkansen on it, so you won't miss it. And if you do go to the Midori no Madoguchi, you can actually talk to someone to make it easier to get the ticket as well, so that is helpful. If you want the rundown on how to actually get a ticket using the ticket machine, here it is. First, switch to English and choose option: reserved, non-reserved, or route search. Next, select your route and stations. Pick your Shinkansen line, like Tokaido, which is Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka. Then, choose date, time, and passenger number. Don't panic at the number of trains, there are a lot. Then you choose seat type plus luggage. This is very important. If your luggage is over 160 centimeters in total, you must reserve a seat with luggage space. Then choose your seat. Pro tip, Tokyo to Kyoto, you sit on the right side for Mount Fuji. For ticket types, keep it simple. Just select everything. The machine combines fares automatically. Then pay and collect tickets. Good to know that you might get multiple tickets. Don't lose any of them. You'll need to insert all of them at the gate. If you want to plan ahead and book your tickets online, you have 2 main options: SmartEX and Ekinet. SmartEX is for Shinkansens west of Tokyo down to Kyushu. So if you're going to Kyoto, Osaka, SmartEX is what you should use. Ekinet is for if you're going northeast of Tokyo and around, Nagano, Tohoku, all the way up to Hokkaido. You are able to connect your ticket to your IC card. However, for your mobile Suica on your Apple wallet, it is very, very complicated to do this. You'll have to go through a lot of different steps. If you want a video on it, let us know, we can make a reel. However, if you're using a physical Suica card, you'll be able to connect your tickets straight on there, or you can even get a QR code, or you can request to pick up your ticket at the station, which actually might just be the easiest way. I always do this. You can kind of keep your ticket as well as a souvenir. So some tips before you actually buy your Shinkansen ticket: know your destination and the possible line that you need to take. Because if you get there and you have no idea, that's when it gets complicated. Second thing is you don't actually have to take the Shinkansen from Tokyo Station. You could take it from Shinagawa, Ueno, which actually might be just much easier because even I get very, very confused at Tokyo Station. I still don't really know how to navigate that place. And Shinagawa and Ueno is much, much smaller that it'll be so much easier to actually find your Shinkansen. Especially if you have a reserved seat, you don't need to be on from Tokyo Station. You have your seat. So you could go on at Shinagawa, Ueno, and it'll all be fine. The problem would be if you are on an unreserved seat, then maybe the best choice is to go on at Tokyo Station so you can snag a seat. And if all this is still a little too confusing, then book through a third party. If you're struggling with booking Shinkansen tickets, then maybe the sponsor of this section of the video is what you need. There are way too many things to see and eat or do around Tokyo, let alone all of Japan, and we know how overwhelming planning can get. So if you need some help, Klook has you covered. Booking things in Japan can normally be quite difficult, but you'll be able to browse through activities all across Japan in your home language and easily use your international credit card to book those memorable moments you're looking for. Easily buy your Shinkansen tickets to Kyoto, Osaka, and so many more destinations. You could book your trip to Shibuya Sky and see one of the best views of Tokyo. Or get away from the city and book a Mount Fuji panoramic day trip. How about beating the crowds with Klook's Skip the Line tickets? You could try make chopsticks for yourself as a souvenir. Or maybe you want a kimono experience. Whatever you're interested in, Klook has something for everyone. Klook also has regular flash sales and seasonal discounts, so it's a good idea to keep an eye out for those on their website. Click the link in the description below to get started straight away on planning and booking your tickets on your PC or phone. Using a third-party website, it'll be so much easier and just much more convenient. You'll be able to book more than a month in advance, and you will have to pay a little extra, but for the lack of stress, it might be worth it for you. Some people have asked, can I book a ticket on the day of travel? Yes, you can. If tickets are available, you can even book a ticket 10 minutes before travel. We get this question a lot. What is basic fare? What is limited express? Can I just get one or the other? The answer is no. You need both. Basic fare is to cover the distance. Limited express is to let you ride on the fast train. There are cases where when you get a physical ticket, you'll get two, the basic fare ticket and the limited express ticket, and you will have to put both into the ticket booth. I have many times, still to this day, get confused about which one do I put in, when in reality you put both in. Don't worry, at the ticket machine place, there are workers there that will let you know to put both in. So it's just part of the experience. At some point this year, you should be able to buy Shinkansen tickets on the Welcome Suica mobile app. There isn't too much information out yet, but check their website for more information, or actually we'll probably post something about it when we know more. You'll also need to choose either reserved seat or non-reserved seat. Basically means reserved seat, you'll have a guaranteed seat. Non-reserved, you don't really know. Maybe you'll get a seat, maybe you'll have to stand all the way from Tokyo to Kyoto, like Shaw has done multiple times. And honestly, unless you're traveling in off-peak times, might as well just reserve a seat. It just makes your life much easier and it is so comfortable. And when you should definitely book reserved seats is during peak times like Golden Week, New Year's, and sometimes the whole train becomes reserved seat only. You'll also have the option to book a green car, which basically is first class for Shinkansen, a little more comfortable than the normal seats. And key point, if you want to see Mount Fuji and you're traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto, sit on the right side. If you're coming back from Kyoto to Tokyo, left side. This is one of the biggest mistakes travelers make when riding a Shinkansen. Luggage rolls. If your luggage is over 160 centimeters in total, you will need proper luggage space. And the luggage space itself is free. However, it comes with a reserved ticket, so you need to get a reserved ticket if you have luggage bigger than 160 centimeters. If you have small luggage, you'll be able to just put it in the overhead bin. If you don't do this, you might get fined 1,000 yen. And that might not be that crazy amount for you, but you might need to change trains or get a whole new ticket, which then will be a hassle and much more money. If you have more than one oversized luggage, or if you just have so much luggage, then the best thing you could do is to send over all the luggage to your destination, and you can learn all about that in our recent luggage guide video. A good rule of thumb is if your bag is basically the same size as a carry-on luggage on a plane, then you don't need to worry. Shinkansens are usually always on time, unless there's a typhoon or something, which is then very understandable. That being said, if your train is at 12 p.m. and if you arrive at 12:01, there's a very big chance that you might have just missed your train. However, it's not like the train station is very similar to the airports, so you don't really need to get there an hour, 2 hours before. You just need to get there 10 to 15 minutes before and you'll be all good. If you do miss your Shinkansen, the great news is you'll be able to ride a later train going to the same destination. However, you will have to sit in the unreserved seats. And if you have luggage or if you really want to sit in the reserved seat, you will have to get a new ticket. If you bought a special discounted ticket like Hayatoku, it's usually that ticket is only for that specific train that you missed, so you will have to buy a whole new ticket. Now, if you're wondering, can you eat and drink on the Shinkansen? The answer is yes. And the answer is that you should. You can get ekibens at the station, which is basically bentos at the station, or you could just get convenience store food, which is honestly great. Some trains do have a food cart, but it's usually limited to the green car and it's not always on the train, so might as well get an ekiben, food from the convenience store, and you can drink alcohol on the Shinkansen as well. Go crazy. Well, no, don't go that crazy, but it's an option. And it is a fun option, sitting there looking at Mount Fuji, drinking your sake, eating your snacks. It truly is a fun time. My biggest tip, don't overthink it. If you're unsure, just use the ticket machine when you arrive. It really is easier than it looks. Or if you want to plan ahead, book a ticket online. Super easy. Overall, you will understand why traveling around Japan in a Shinkansen is the best way to travel. So, like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff, and we'll see you next time.